Morning, guys. Welcome to another Real Estate Steals, Deals, and Opportunities. And I understand that Nashville will be watching this evening. So a shout out to you guys. Hey, Mark. Hey, Steve. And all the group that come out to support them. And I wish you the best in your career. And hopefully you'll learn a tip or two that you can apply to your business in this webinar today. So today we're going to talk about doing renovations right. And so we'll talk about this. This is one of my pet peeves, and it's also in my book, Exposing the Truth Behind the Lies of Real Estate Investing, because so many investors cut corners and band-aid things and then wonder why they're just not making enough money, or the properties don't sell, or they have these inspection nightmares at the end when they go to sell it to their retail buyer and that type of thing. So a common roadblock to success for many real estate rehabbers is cutting corners or being cheap. I think the biggest problem investor-minded people have is stepping over dollars to save pennies, and it really costs them in the big picture. So we're going to talk about doing renovations right. And this is the same house, believe it or not, before and after. I actually wholesaled this one to a client of mine, and they did an amazing job on this and made quite a good penny. But you see how they just changed the whole look with the right color. They added landscaping, and a lot of people just skimp on the landscaping too. But if we don't have the right curb appeal, we never get the buyer out of the car, or even the renter. So here's a before and after picture as well. So we want to make our renovations unique and more appealing. And we want to spend the extra money, if we're going to spend any extra money, in the kitchen and the master bed and bathroom, because that's where the decision maker is going to spend their time, and that's where they're going to be swayed to buy your house over someone else's. I love to go see brand new construction and see the models, especially if they're in the price range that competes with my home that might be within a mile's radius, So I want to see what is that builder using as far as products and materials, and it's typically regular Home Depot, Lowe's products that I can find down those aisles. But what is my consumer looking at that might draw them into that house versus mine, or mine versus theirs? So I try to make it look like those homes, and that's kind of my goal. So this is a before and after kitchen shot, and if I were to take the same shot of this kitchen in this left side photo, all you would see there is a wall. I'm really big on opening walls. In fact, my contractor is always wanting to know, wait, we have a bet on which walls you're going to cut down, so tell us. And so I like to open things up because that's the trend, that's the look. People love islands, so I try to give an island or an island concept in a very open feel. The trend now is everything's open when you walk in the house. You can kind of see all the rooms, and maybe you have some other more private rooms, but that's the concept. So I also follow a website called houzz.com, and it's HOUZZ, and always things are what is trending there. You can join that website for free, and you put in your zip code. So you'll see the vendors that work your zip code that are advertising to you to do your renovations or sell you the products and materials. And you can also see what's trending. And so I love staying in tune to that. I don't watch a lot of TV, like the HGTV stuff. I think that's great too, but I'm never on that. So I'm using Houzz. I'm kind of on my phone or my iPad or stuff, okay? So in this particular picture, we took this galley kitchen, as you can see on the right, that's very, very dark. And I want you to notice that over the sink, there is a window, a pass-through window. Now that window is actually opening onto what used to be once upon a time a patio that had been legally enclosed into another very large room. But now I still have this pass-through window open into this room out there. So you still have the psychological look of, oh, well, that's an enclosed patio, and we don't want that look. So if you see on the left, there is no window now over that sink, okay? It is closed off. In fact, to the right of the kitchen there on the picture on the bottom, the renovated picture, where the dining room is located, there was a sliding glass door there that took you out into that room. And if you guys can see down to the left side, to the left of the microwave, that you see kind of a door. Well, that's where you enter that big addition. And that also was a sliding glass door. So we didn't need two separate locations. In fact, I actually added another bedroom and a family room out there. And so we closed off this sliding glass door that you would see now a wall in this dining room area. And now we have a formal dining room. We have this open kitchen with additional seating off of this island bar. And our kitchen even extends, as you can see on the left side here in the old former picture. See how far back the kitchen goes? We still have an eat-in kitchen area back there. And then you'll see that door opens up and goes into a laundry room. So we had a lot of space and a lot of ability to really make this place pop. So now when people walk in, boom, and then you put it on the market and they sell in the first week. And that's what I like to do. I also stage my renovations. I think it depends. If the rooms look small, I definitely stage. I had a 1,200 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath home on the market. My stager was behind, but I didn't wait on my stager. I put it on the market. It went on the market on a Wednesday. Okay, my stager didn't come till the following Wednesday. I had a ton of realtors come through with their buyers that first week, and that whole first weekend, not one offer. So I was like, whoa, and now I'm going, did I make a mistake? Well, my stager came the following Wednesday, and I had full price offers the following weekend. And so it was amazing to me that once people could visualize their furniture fitting in what appeared to be a small space, they were all over it because, hey, my furniture fits here. It wasn't even a question anymore. So you can take away those objections with staging. I love to do that because, as you can see, it looks like that model home that my buyers are visiting right before or on the weekend when they're dreaming, but they can't necessarily afford that home or wait for that home. And they come in and see something that looks like that model home and they're sold. So that's one of our things that we do. So, again, look at what's trending, try to create the illusion of space. Sometimes, guys, it truly is just an illusion of space. You didn't add more space. You just made it look like you did. And like I said, a staging always helps. So even though I have the property sold, just as a tip to you, I keep the furniture in there until the appraisal is done. I have found that my appraisals are much easier to get when that furniture is still in there because it still appeals to that appraiser as well. And it has the illusion of bigger space and nicer spaces to them as well. And that's where I really needed to count, right? So now in this particular picture, this is the same exact kitchen from a different angle. Again, because if I took it from the same angle as you see in the renovated photo, you would see a wall there because we took down all of that wall space. So now if you guys see in the right side before photo, see where the sink is? And you see where the sink is in my renovated photo because you can see the faucet. All right. So this is how far we went to take down that whole wall that wrapped around. So this was a condo. And when you walked in the condo, you literally walked into a hallway and then you went through a door and that was your kitchen on the left that was completely closed in, which is your picture on the right here. So your kitchen was completely closed in. And so you felt small, your space was small, and you would walk through the hallway to get to your living and dining room. So by taking it down, guys, you see on the left, and now we have a bar there, you walk in and the illusion of the space is wide open now. Your kitchen's exposed. You can have people sitting there. You can converse with who's ever in the living room and the dining room. You can see all the way out to the pool and the lake outside and, through the sliding glass doors. And so you just change the complete look of the space. And when my buyers are looking at other condos in the area, even if they've been renovated in that building, that wall is still up. So of course mine is going to sell quickly. And then the staging just, takes it to the next level. I also, if you look at the after photo here, there was a huge pantry that I narrowed down with additional cabinets there. And I put the washer dryer in a stackable closet. So that also made my kitchen look larger. And anyway, this is the finished product of what we did with this space. So like I said, do you need to take walls down and do these things? No, I enjoy doing it. I love the after effect. And where I get paid is that my home sells quickly. I am off the market right away because I have multiple offers. All right. So another thing that investors fail to do is actually use licensed contractors and obtain permits. I'm big on doing this because I want somebody to fall back on when the renovation is not done right. It doesn't go right. The guy disappears. You have no recourse, guys, when you don't pull permits. When you don't go through the proper channels, good luck trying to get your money back or being able to pursue someone who didn't do you right. Okay. It's just not going to happen. But when you go through the proper channels, you pull permits, you are holding people accountable, and they have to perform to the level that is acceptable in the municipality, okay? So I like to use licensed contractors and pull permits to make sure the work is done right. Buyers will pay for that extra peace of mind. And again, cutting corners costs you in the long run. So you can have handymen or unlicensed people do your work. You have no recourse. And when things don't go right, you're firing them and bringing in another guy. So your timelines and your budgets are going over because you just keep cutting corners. And so I just found that even if I pay more for a contractor, I am making up for it because my job is done on time and my budget is usually right on. Oh, well, it's better on than it used to be. Okay, there's always things that we open up walls and we find out we've got to fix. But I have a method for doing that as well, where I'm able to get into that still keep me on budget. So now in this particular picture, the before photo, as you can see, looks like a galley kitchen. This was just bizarre to me, this kitchen. This kitchen was huge, and there was so much wasted space. And so you can see in the after photo, we made use of underneath the window space and everything by putting in an L kitchen and then an island rather than this long bar that came out. So let me tell you how we had to accomplish this. So if you see in the after photo, there is a sink now, where the sink was kind of on this jutted out island in the before picture. It's now under that window. Now, if you guys look in the before picture, you can see that our window was so low, it just wasn't built right, that they couldn't have a counter underneath that window. It wasn't built right. So we actually had to replace that window to raise the level. And then when I did that, I added the window that you see to the left of the stove in the after picture, and I put a granite ledge there because that was out onto the deck. There was a gorgeous deck patio that was all screened in. So if people are going to grill out there or have a jacuzzi, they would have to walk all the way into the house, through the kitchen to grab anything that they missed. And you know how that would be practically thinking. So I think more practically, if I was living there, I'd want to pass through a window and I could pass in and out, whatever, to whoever's barbecuing and pass some drinks, whatever it would be. And so we added that window as well. And again, changing the dynamic of your kitchen, making it practical, giving the buyers no excuse for something they might have to do after. Okay, so then we were able to add the island. Now, I have a great island tip because people always say, no, we're not going to do an island. It costs way too much money, because to have your island to code, you have to run electric to your island because they don't want people, well, in addition to many things, but if you don't have electric on your island and you have like tabletop appliances on it, countertop appliances, then your cord is running across, okay, and it makes a risk. So in order to avoid that issue of having to dig up underneath to run more wiring, or you can always run a column and bring it in through the ceiling. And that's what a lot of people do. You can do that as well. My islands are not stationary. They are not permanent. So in fact, we tile the whole thing. We build the island with the cabinets and we put on the same granite slab. That island can be moved against the wall and pushed around any way that the new buyer wants to use it. And by being able to make my island portable, I do not have to meet those code things that can cost you thousands of dollars more. So keep that in mind. Okay, and so that way, when space permits, I can put an island everywhere I want, and now I look like that new home, I look like what's trending, and I don't look like the neighbors. So we changed the whole look of this kitchen with just those few things. And yes, I spent a little more to replace the windows, but I got a kitchen that is modern and trending, and of course the house sells right away. Okay, so the other thing, when I say buyers will pay for the extra peace of mind, when I advertise my homes for sale, I advertise permitted work, permitted windows, permitted this, permitted electric, permitted AC. So I use that word permitted like crazy in there because I want my listing always to be different than my competitors. My competitors are not pulling permits. So you might get a brand new AC, but it doesn't say that it's permitted. You might have brand new electrical, but it doesn't say permitted. So whether there's a permitted or not, I put that word in, permitted, permitted, permitted. And I put it in my flyers in the home, and I use that word as a plant to make my buyers think, well, I wonder if that was permitted over there. I way rather be with the permitted stuff, So it works to my advantage. So I just tell you, if you're going to permit anything, advertise it. All right, so luxury renovations are no different in concept. And in fact, in luxury renovations, you better spend the extra money because your buyers know better. Your buyers know what's trending. Your buyers know what they want, and they know brand names. And so you don't want to cut corners in a luxury renovation. This is the before and after photo of a luxury renovation that we oversaw. And there's not one thing that really was kept in this home. Even the landscaping, as you can see, it's on a 3/4 of an acre lot, but in the before picture, you can't even really get a good look at the home. And so we eliminated all of those huge bushes, or whatever you'd want to call them, and we accented the trees like this. And so it really opened the home up. We changed out all of the window openings. We changed out the roof. And now where we cut corners is to take, I wouldn't say cut corners, but where we save money is to take old looks that aren't trending anymore and eliminating them and bringing them into a new look. And you'll be surprised how much money you save to be able to do something like that. In this picture, you might be able to tell, in the before picture, you can see a couple of skylights over that front door area up on the roof. Well, skylights, especially if they're impact, are very expensive and take a long time to get. So we eliminate skylights whenever we renovate a home. They're not the trend any longer. They're in fact more of a risk because of hurricanes and things like that. So in a home like this that already had so much lighting, we didn't even need them. So in the after, nobody even knows there was a skylight. So you're not, it's not like you need to go, oh, when we remove the skylights, it's not even a conversation any longer. Okay. In the kitchen, in luxury renovations, you don't skimp on appliances. So, you've got a $12,000 refrigerator here alone, not to mention double oven. The ice machine is a must, depending on the price range you're going into, an under-the-counter microwave, the gas cooktop. A lot of people in the higher price range renovation do not want to cook on electric. They want a chef's kitchen, whether they're cooking like a chef or they hire one. And so the double island look is trending. And so that's what we went for. And you can see that in this old kitchen, and in that era, I'm sure that was, amazing. And that's even a Sub-Zero refrigerator in that kitchen. And it wasn't that old. So when I went in to do this renovation, I said, I want to salvage that refrigerator because everybody loves having a second fridge. And I said, what we're going to do? We're going to salvage these cabinets. We're going to sand them and paint them white. I'm going to do a white laundry room with a Sub-Zero refrigerator in it. I don't know if I have a picture of that, but that bonus refrigerator is, wonderful. So now here's another place where we took from the old and it paid for the new. So this is the master bedroom. I mean, that is a California king size bed that, that's how big the room is. You can't even tell that the bed is that big. But you see in the before picture to the right, we have this 10 by 10 patio in the master that I think is completely unnecessary. It actually takes away the center of my room so that one wall doesn't match the other wall. So the opposite wall you can't see is where you'd be putting your flat screen TV. You'd be centering that, but then your bed would be off center on the other side. It doesn't make sense from a decorator's point of view. And so to remove both of those sliders and push the wall out behind it and end up with one slider pays for, in other words, I would have had to have replaced 2 impact sliders, whereas now I only replace 1 because of the way I did it. So the savings more than paid for that renovation right there. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. You can take out something old that's no longer a trend and it actually pays for the new look, which is much better than the old look. I also went modern on this property. So in kind of brush nickel was our color scheme, along with the modern looks of the dark wood and white and dark. And so if you notice, there are square light covers in all the hi-hats in the after, and those are in brushed nickel. We had to locate those and order those. And so we kept with that look throughout. It was a very square look. We also furnished this home. This is not staged. It was sold furnished. And so here we have a dining room that was probably really amazing in its day. But what's trending now is double chandeliers. And these chandeliers weigh $450 a piece. We had to brace them in the ceiling. They are 5 layers of crystals, and they're amazing. And they blow you away in person. And so what we did is we took out these beams over the dining room that make it feel small. And as soon as they were gone, imagine the extra space illusion because your ceilings are about 22 feet high there. And so there was also, you can't see it here, but there was some separations, like these floor planter things that are no longer trending and things like that we removed. Everything is brand new impact glass and electronic shades. You can't even see them in the pictures. I love it, but there's a small valance over all the windows, and these electronic shades, you have a remote control and they just suck up into the valance, and when they're open, you don't even know you have shades. So really, really cool thing here. And over to the left of the dining room, you see these wine fridge. That's 2 separate wine fridges, one for white, one for red. And that is off of a guest bathroom that had a huge shower. Well, we eliminated the shower to add this wine storage, if you will, but chilled wine storage. And that was about $12,000 to do, but it would have cost us a few $1,000s to renovate a shower off the kitchen that was unnecessary. Okay, so again, we take what's trending. And so we did the same thing with this movie room, media room. Those are no longer trending to have a media room. What's trending is a home office. And so we had the custom built library put in, and in my own home we can never reach the top shelf. What are you going to do, get a ladder from the garage and all these things? So I said, well, this would be really cool to have the rolling ladder. So all of that was built custom. We put a smart system into this home, and the brain of it is in the middle below. This room has a surround sound. It has blackout electronic shades, so you can come in here, watch movies, or come in here to your home office. And the floors, we didn't want to go with wood. They're high upkeep, they get damaged easily, so we went with a wood look porcelain that was very wide planks, and that's trending as well. And so the look it came out amazing. I love this house. I would definitely move there, live there if I could. And here you get another angle. We completely changed the railings of all the stairs from wood to glass. Again, I told you we went with a modern rustic look, so glass is very trending. It lets the light through, and you just have this illusion of huge. The total square foot of this property was 7,500, and so you come in and you just have this grand opening. We actually changed the stairway completely to give it this different look here. And the tiles that you see on the floor here are limestone, and they're 3 by 3. You have to take 2 people to lay one tile. So that was costly. But what I'm talking about here is the high-end finishes. When buyers in this price range come through, they want to know, where did this stuff come from? Because if I see it on Home Depot's aisle, I don't even want this house. And so everything's custom, and ordered. And I'll tell you what, I ordered all my bathroom vanities except for one off of this House website, and I got incredible pricing on them because we did modern vanities. Now, these in the master, you always want to custom make. Like I say, spend the money in the kitchen and the master. So everything in the kitchen and the master were custom. You wouldn't find these anywhere to purchase them online. So we custom made everything in the master. We took out, the old jacuzzi tub there, and we replaced it with a soaking tub. We extended the shower, made the shower much bigger, and did the things here that again are trending. Okay. Oh, you know what? That's a good spot. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe you can. But in the before picture over the shower, it was all skylight across the bathroom. So it was going to be thousands and thousands of dollars to replace those skylights with impact glass. It's completely unnecessary because, again, your whole wall is glass. So we, you can see in the after picture, we closed it all up. It's still just as bright. No one would even know. And it's, paid for your bathroom renovation to do it that way. This is the second level, and it was all carpet before, and we changed that out to, again, the porcelain. The ceilings were cedar. We actually stained them to a darker color to go with the look rather than having to replace that. So when you have a 2-story house and your master is on the first floor, which is what they like, just so you know, they want a first floor master, then your second floor is where you can save all the money. Okay, so spend your money on the floor that matters. If they need to be buying your house before they ever go upstairs, if they have to go to the second floor to decide they want your house, you lost the sale. And so this was our look in the back. And if you notice, we took out both of the planter beds on both sides of the pool, and you don't need them. They obstruct views and they make a mess in your pool. And we added a water wall. I don't think I have an after picture of the other side of this pool, but there's actually a waterfall coming out of that little wall you see up on the left side. So when you are coming out of the back of the house, you see the waterfall coming out of this linear waterfall. The pool's completely redone. Fortunately for us, we wanted to go with the modern. We had all modern lines on this pool. And so I was able to keep all the square. We did travertine tile out back and we did pavers out front. And so we were able to save a lot of money by putting just the travertine in the back where people would be spending their time entertaining. And then you can see the roof is replaced and the awnings are no longer awnings. We have, these pergola type look there. And anyway, it's a lot of fun to do a renovation like that. And it's a lot of planning to stay on budget. And we must have spent 4 months in planning, but then our renovation was done in half the time. But there was so much work put into the planning to pre-order things. And, when you're doing custom, you have to have a long leeway time, like even as much as 6 weeks for your order of products to come in. And there can be a lot of delays in that. So you kind of got to know what you want from the very beginning to stay on budget and stay on your timeline. And I'll give you a tip, down here, it happens a lot. I don't know if other places, but we cannot do construction in season in most areas and communities in South Florida, because season is when people are coming and living in the home. So our season is like November to February. So we have a long period of time where we can do no exterior renovations. And so you want to factor that into your purchase date and the time frame that you have for renovations. And so otherwise you're sitting on a house you can't even touch. So guys, I hope you learned some tips on renovation, especially taking it up a notch to a new level. And I hope that you're able to apply this to your business. If you are interested in investing in South Florida real estate, or you want to get on my email list to see what opportunities you can purchase down here, here is my contact information, and I look forward to working with you. And if you enjoyed what you learned about doing renovations right, then we invite you to learnfromgreen.com, where there is always great teachers, great topics about real estate investing and other amazing information via live interactive video conference classes. We are firm believers that when you increase your knowledge, your income follows. So thanks for tuning in today.